Welcome to Anything You Want, the place where stories go beyond headlines and emotions speak louder than words. Today, we dive deep into a story that has captured hearts not just in Turkey, but across the entire world. A story about love, memory, connection, and new beginnings, centered on one of the most admired women in Turkish television, Ebru Şahin. The radiant actress, known for her strength, grace, and sincerity, has quietly stepped into a new chapter of her life. She is expecting her first child, a moment of pure joy that has stirred emotions far beyond what anyone expected. But what makes this announcement so powerful is not only the happiness surrounding it, it's the wave of nostalgia and emotion it awakened, especially in one person whose name has been tied to Ebru since the golden days of Turkey, Akin Akinosu. Before we go deeper, don't forget, if you love exploring the real emotions behind celebrity stories, subscribe to Anything You Want, tap the join button to support our work, and give this story a like if you believe in lasting connections that time can't erase. The news didn't arrive with a red carpet reveal or a glamorous magazine spread. Instead, it came softly, through whispers and gentle confirmation from those close to Ebru. She had always been known for her calm spirit, a woman who preferred authenticity over spectacle. And true to her character, this life-changing news emerged not as a publicity stunt, but as an intimate truth shared with the world in her own quiet way. Her friends describe her as glowing, serene, and deeply fulfilled. They say she had long dreamed of becoming a mother, seeing it not as an interruption to her career, but as a profound expansion of her identity. The moment her pregnancy became known, the internet overflowed with warmth. Countless fans flooded social media with congratulations, digital fan art, and heartfelt words celebrating her journey into motherhood. And yet, amidst the outpouring of joy, there was one reaction that stood out, one that carried both tenderness and an echo of the past. To understand why Akin Akinosu's response meant so much, we have to travel back to the beginning, to the phenomenon that brought them together, Turkey. Even after Turkey ended, their bond seemed to linger in the public consciousness. Both actors moved on to different projects, different lives, but their names never truly separated in people's hearts. And now, years later, with Ebru's beautiful new chapter unfolding, that invisible thread between them seems to shimmer once again, quietly, but unmistakably. When word of Ebru's pregnancy reached Akin, those who were there say he paused mid-scene on set. For a brief moment, time seemed to still. A crew member later recalled how Akin lowered his gaze, smiled faintly, and simply stood there, as though caught between memory and reality. Later, when a journalist asked him about the news, his response was brief but profoundly heartfelt. Ebru deserves every happiness in this world. She's strong, kind, and full of light. I'm sure she will be an incredible mother. Those few words spread across social media within hours. Fans described his tone as soft, nostalgic, and sincere, the kind of reaction that comes not from habit or media training, but from a place of genuine emotion. Some said it sounded like a quiet farewell to a shared past, others saw it as pure respect. Whatever it was, it struck a chord with millions. And as the online conversations unfolded, something fascinating happened. The public once again began to revisit Turkey, re-watching old clips, replaying interviews, and dissecting glances that suddenly seemed to hold new meaning. As Akin's words made their way across the internet, fan communities reignited debates that had never truly died. Did their connection ever go beyond friendship? Was there something real between them that time never managed to erase? One could almost feel the collective nostalgia flooding back. On X, formerly known as Twitter, comments multiplied. You can see in his eyes he still cares. Their chemistry was never just acting. Some bonds don't end, they just evolve. Yet through it all, both Ebru and Akin maintained a dignified silence. Neither indulged in speculation nor tried to clarify what the public was so eager to define. And perhaps that's what makes their connection so captivating. It doesn't need labels or explanations. What many people forget is that behind the glamour and gossip lies something much purer: mutual respect. Those who worked on Herkai often spoke of how attuned the two actors were to each other's energy. They could communicate entire emotions with a glance. During long, emotionally charged filming days, they were patient, professional, and supportive, a rare synergy that made their performances unforgettable. They didn't need to talk much. A single look was enough. That's something you can't fake. It's perhaps this very foundation of understanding that continues to resonate today. When Akin congratulated Ebru, it wasn't performative, it was an echo of the respect that once defined their collaboration. A respect that, even years later, remains untouched by time or distance. Meanwhile, Ebru herself seems to be embracing this new stage of life with tranquility. Friends describe her as radiant, peaceful, and ready. She has spoken often about her wish to balance career and family, and now she appears to be living that dream. Recently, she shared a simple photograph, a soft silhouette of her growing belly, captioned only with the words, "Every new beginning comes with its own light." Within minutes, the post gathered hundreds of thousands of likes and warm wishes. Not only fans, but fellow actors, producers, and public figures joined in celebrating her happiness. The comment section became a sea of hearts and kind words, a reflection of how deeply loved she truly is. What makes this story truly moving isn't celebrity glamour, it's humanity. It's about two people who once shared something rare, and who now walk separate paths while still carrying traces of kindness and mutual regard. Fame often reduces emotions to sound bites, but here, we see something real: compassion, nostalgia, and an unspoken acknowledgement of the past. Akin's words and Ebru's silence tell the same story from opposite sides, one of respect, affection, and quiet strength. They remind us that not all endings are losses, some are simply transformations. And perhaps, that's why fans can't let go of their fascination. It's not about romance anymore. It's about connection. The kind that lingers like a soft echo, invisible yet impossible to forget. In years to come, people may forget trending headlines or fleeting gossip, but they will remember the bond between Ebru Şahin and Akin Akinosu, a creative partnership that transcended fiction. It was more than acting, it was two souls meeting at the right moment in their lives, teaching each other strength, patience, and grace. And now, as Ebru steps into motherhood, the story feels complete, not in an ending sense, but as a beautiful continuation. The circle of life moves forward, yet the echoes of Herkai still linger softly, like a song that refuses to fade. As one close friend of Akin reportedly shared, he once said, "Some people come into your life to teach you courage, others to remind you of tenderness." Ebru did both. Maybe that's what this entire story is about, not unspoken love or missed chances, but gratitude. Gratitude for what was, and peace for what now is. And to you, our dear viewers, what do you think? Do you believe that some connections never truly fade, even when life takes people in different directions? Share your thoughts below, we read every single comment. And remember, if you love stories that go beyond the surface, subscribe to Anything You Want, hit the join button to support us, and keep the conversation alive. Because here, we don't just report stories, we feel them. Thank you for watching Anything You Want, where every story has a heartbeat.